NFL playoff action, and we're going to take a look at Kansas City at New England. Guys, Kansas City 11 in a row. Was it all Kansas City last week, or was part of it a really bad performance by the Houston Texans and one Brian Hoyer in particular?
I pointed out to Brian Hoyer at the videos last week. Congratulations. He was the one Browns quarterback that made it to the playoffs. Well, now we know why he's an ex-Browns quarterback. He had a tough game, and a lot of it was Houston giving that one away, but Kansas City, you can't take anything away from them. Like you said, we said they've won 11 straight, even though they haven't beaten the toughest opponents. But it's going to be a little bit more interesting this week.
Yeah, Preston, we look at this one, and, I've been one, and I'll admit, I was on the wrong side of that one last week. We broke down all of the games. That's the one I missed, and I just, don't believe in this Kansas City team, and I know they've won 11 in a row, but I can't get past the fact it's been such a soft schedule. And again, what they've done during the winning streak, they did again last week. 5-1 turnover margin last week. That takes it up to 28-8 over an 11-game stretch. I don't care who you are. You're going to win if you got that kind of turnover margin.
Yeah, it's true. And then you throw in the opening kickoff. They housed for a touchdown, right, and you're sitting there, how does this team keep doing this? And sometimes those types of teams do continue to do it, as kind of people call the phrase, a team of destiny or a year of destiny or whatever. And maybe that's the case for Kansas City. I haven't bet anything on this game yet. I think it's going to be close either way. I don't love playing on teams that had the extra bye. I think the extra time often helps defenses prepare, but offenses sometimes get out of a rhythm, especially if you're resting guys in week 17 anyway. It could be 3 weeks since you've been actually playing a real football team or a real opponent. And so I'm probably going to stay away and maybe play something second half. One thing to keep an eye on was recently Chandler Jones, the starting defensive end for the Patriots, was hospitalized over the weekend. And so I'm not sure if he's going to go or not, and I think he's a pretty big factor for the Patriots on that side of the ball, when their offense, obviously, with some injuries throughout the year, isn't going to be as strong as it's been in the past. And so, I'd stay away going into the game. I think it'll be close. Patriots probably find a way to win the game late, and you'll probably get to tell Kansas City that it was a good run, but the luck's over.
Hey, sooner or later, the clock's got to strike midnight for Cinderella. And
as you said about the Seahawks, though, too, and they continue to
yeah, we'll be talking about the Seahawks in a little bit. Brian, Preston brings up a good point about the teams. Everybody assumes the week off is a plus for the teams, but history has shown it's not been as profitable point spread wise for those teams that have that week off. But I think there's certain situations. If it's a situation where a team's rolling along, and like Preston said, you might have eased up the last week or two of the regular season because you had everything locked up, you just can't turn it on and off like a light switch. But if you had a team like New England, who they were decimated by injuries this season, a chance to get healthy, I think, is a plus for them in this instance rather than a negative.
Well, you can actually tell in the last game the Patriots played. When they played Miami, even the week before that, they were looking more towards the playoffs at that point. They didn't want to get anybody hurt. And you started off the conversation talking about turnovers, and now we've got a New England team who never turns the ball over. Every year they have a plus turnover margin. A lot of that has to do with, seriously, a lot of that has to do with the deflated footballs. I don't care what they tell you, but it's impossible for a team to play the way they do and not turn the ball over on fumbles.
Especially
they got a great quarterback.
Especially a cold weather team.
Yeah, they got a great quarterback, but they play in cold weather. There's something going on there. But Kansas City's been having to take advantage of that. Will they have that advantage against New England?
Yeah. And I did a podcast this morning with Gil that we always do. And, I threw it out there, for the conspiracy theorist with New England. Did New England, when they played the Jets, did they really want to win that game? I'm sure they did because they still had a lot of stuff going. But it really didn't hurt them either because at the time, a loss to the Jets kind of would push Pittsburgh out if it played out the way it should have. And at the time, Pittsburgh's the one team nobody wanted to play. And if Pittsburgh got in, they were getting in as the 6th seed. And if New England wins, they would have been the 1 seed. And, they would have had to, possibly face Pittsburgh down the road. That's the, you could say that, but, Belichick is always a thinker.
He is a thinker. And being that you're from Pittsburgh, it's nice for you to say that they're still in it. I don't know if they deserve to be in it, but they are still in it.
We'll talk about that in another video. All right, guys, we got to wrap this one up real quick. Any opinion on this one for you, Preston?
No, I'm not going to even attempt it. Like I said, follow me on Twitter or something. I'll give out something in game probably or second half, but pre-game.
Brian, any lean for you?
Low scoring game, which would obviously point me towards the underdog here. It's a dead number right now. I'd love to see a 6, and then I'll probably be on Kansas City. If I don't, and maybe sitting this one out.
All right, right now I'm going to lean to New England. I think Belichick and company will find a way to get it done. And, you know, it's 5 minutes to midnight. I think Cinderella's about to get the clock to strike it. So we're going to go ahead and go with New England. And, guys, hey, if you want to save $10 this week, use coupon code. Hey, we're going to go with Bama10. Give them their props for winning the national championship. We'll go Bama and the number 10. You can save $10 this week. Any package you want to use at WagerTalk, and you can always use that for a weekend all-access package Thursday through Monday. Get all of our plays from your favorite capper for just $69. Be sure to check out all of the videos at WagerTalk.com.